Okay, let's jump right into a really fascinating moment for David. We're looking at 1 Samuel chapter 21,
Mm-hmm.
catching up with David right after he's fled from King Saul. He's basically alone, desperate.
Totally alone. It's a stark contrast, isn't it? From hero to fugitive, almost overnight.
Exactly. And this dive, we're looking at how he navigates this immediate crisis,
Yeah.
the surprising, sometimes uncomfortable ways he survives.
Yeah, it's raw survival. He has to shed that old identity fast and just do whatever it takes.
So first stop is Nob. He goes to see Ahimelech the priest.
And Ahimelech's reaction is telling. The text says he trembled seeing David alone. Fear. He knows something's wrong.
Right. David can't exactly say, hey, the king's trying to kill me, so he has to think fast.
He does. He spins the story immediately, claims he's on a secret mission from the king.
Says his men are meeting him somewhere else. A quick lie, basically.
A calculated deception, yeah. To buy time, get access, seem legitimate.
And he needs food. Asks for 5 loaves, or really whatever Ahimelech has.
Yeah. But there's a problem. Ahimelech says, well, I don't have any ordinary bread. Only the consecrated bread.
The bread of the presence.
Exactly, set out before the Lord. And there are rules, right? You have to be ritually pure to eat it, specifically kept from women.
Ahimelech even mentions it was the bread just removed that day, replaced with fresh, hot bread.
And David's response, more quick thinking. He insists his men are always pure on missions.
How much more so today, he says, sort of bending the situation to fit the rule without revealing his fugitive status.
It's clever verbal maneuvering, and Ahimelech buys it, or at least he gives him the bread.
Okay, but here's this crucial detail dropped in. While all this is happening, someone else is there.
Yes. Doeg the Edomite, Saul's chief shepherd, he's there, detained before the Lord.
What does that detained mean, typically?
Often it meant fulfilling some kind of religious vow or purification rite. So Doeg's just there at the sanctuary.
But he sees David. He hears the exchange. Huge implications down the road.
Absolutely massive. A moment of piety for Doeg becomes, well, fateful.
Okay, so David's got food. Now he needs a weapon.
Right. He asks Ahimelech if there's a spear or sword around. Uses the same excuse. The king's mission was so urgent he didn't bring his own weapon.
More layers to the story.
And the only weapon available is kind of amazing. It's Goliath's sword.
Wow, the actual sword.
The very one.
Yeah.
Kept wrapped in cloth behind the ephod, a sacred priestly garment. So stored in a holy place.
The symbolism there is just incredible. The weapon from his greatest triumph now handed to him in his moment of desperation.
And David knows it. His reaction is immediate. There is none like it. Give it to me.
So he takes it. Step 1. Deception gets him food and the iconic weapon. But Doeg saw everything.
A dangerous loose end. So David needs to get out of Saul's territory completely.
Where does he go?
He flees to Gath.
Gath, the Philistine city, Goliath's hometown. That seems incredibly risky.
It does, doesn't it? Maybe the logic was it's the last place Saul would ever look for him. Or just pure desperation.
Bold, maybe reckless. And what happens when he gets there?
Well, his fame catches up to him almost instantly. The servants of Achish, the king of Gath, they recognize him.
Oh, no.
They literally quote the song, you know the one, Saul has slain his thousands and David his tens of thousands. His reputation as Israel's champion makes him instantly identifiable and instantly dangerous there.
So the very thing that made him a hero now puts his life in peril.
Exactly. The text says he takes their words to heart and becomes very much afraid of King Achish. The calculation and smooth talking won't work here.
He needs a totally different strategy.
A drastic one. He pretends to be insane.
Just acts mad.
Completely. Right there in front of them. He starts making marks on the city gates, lets saliva run down his beard. It's a total performance of
A
madness.
complete debasement. Utterly stripping himself of dignity.
It's extreme. But think about his fear. He's cornered.
And does it work?
It does. Achish is disgusted. He basically says, look at this madman. Do I need more madmen around here? Why did you bring him to me? Get him out.
So Achish just dismisses him as harmlessly insane.
Yep. He literally drools his way to freedom. It's an astonishing scene.
So you have these two back-to-back survival acts. First, the calculated lie. The clever deception at Nob.
Followed immediately by this raw theatrical performance of insanity in Gath. Two totally opposite tactics.
It really forces you to see David differently, doesn't it? Not just the psalmist or the king-to-be, but someone pushed to the absolute edge.
Willing to compromise truth, dignity, everything, just to survive another day. It peels back the layers of the legend.
A stark reminder of the desperation underlying his rise.
So maybe the thought to leave you with is this. What does this chapter show us about that sheer will to survive, the uncomfortable lengths people might go to?
Yeah, and how quickly reputation and circumstance can just flip on you, forcing you into places you never thought you'd be.
Exactly. How quickly everything can change. Something to really think about.